Joining us now, College Football Live, one of my favorite guys to cover here in the SEC, Coach Will Muschamp. All right, we've been having a debate on the show. Will Muschamp, the player, if he comes in right now, is he going to commit to playing for Dabo, Swinney, or Nick Saban? Which one will
Nick Saban.
You were quick.
There's no thought process there.
There's no thought process on it. No?
Absolutely not.
Why is that?
Defensive coach, philosophically aligned the same way. So a lot of reasons, and I don't know how much time you got.
There it is. All right. See, I thought you might go Dabo because all the kids are talking about, oh, it's so much fun. But when we had Coach Saban and Joe, you were talking about it. Yeah. It's a different style, but both of them have their version of success.
That's right.
Coach, you're in year 4 now, and the process starts, and we watch coaches. You have to get your own players in there, do your own recruiting, make the system yours. Where are you guys at now? And you're going into year 4 in that process.
Right. Well, Joey, this will be our best team, and it should be. It's like you said, we've got a senior quarterback back. We've improved on both lines of scrimmage, the quality of depth on both lines of scrimmage. We've got good skill position players, and in my opinion, offensively, I think we're more talented in the secondary than we've been. We need to be more consistent at linebacker. We need to be more consistent at the running back position to continue to take steps forward, and we'll see how that goes in fall.
Consistency at a quarterback play as well, too. We saw Jake Bentley. He came on the scene, and he exploded, right? Where is he at as far as that development coming into this year?
I'm excited about seeing him play his senior year because, as you said, he's played extremely well at times, and then we had a lull there during the middle of the season, didn't play as well. We've got to take better care of the football. 14 interceptions and 6 of them in the red zone. Those are killers. We had 56 opportunities in the red zone last year, and 13 times we come away with no points. So, and 8 of them being turnovers. So at the end of the day, we've got to do a much better job of taking care of the football and playing better in the red zone because we improved tremendously from 2017 to 2018 on offense.
You go through a season where you have a lot of injuries on your team. As a coaching staff, do you approach your offseason differently? Is there some changes you can make to try to avoid that same situation?
Well, we've evaluated kind of what we do. We had 2 surgeries our first season, and we're training the same way as we've trained before. I think it was a freak year. It all hit on one side of the ball. It all hit on defense. I think if it was a little bit more spread out on offense and defense, it wouldn't have been as much of an issue. But we entered last year with about 40% of our snaps from 2017 on defense. When you lose Dennis Wanham in the first game of the year, now you're down to below 30% of your snaps on defense, and you're playing a lot of youth. And in the bowl game in the last 3 or 4 games of the year, I mean, we're out there with 7 and 8 true freshmen at one time on the field on defense. So those growing pains, though, ought to be positive as far as this year because I think there's some talented players. Unfortunately, they went through a whole experience together on the field at the same time with some tough times.
How do I describe this Gamecock team in 2019 for people that are watching us right now? Sleeper, contender, spoiler, what's the proper way?
Wow, now I don't worry about that. At the end of the day, we need to go compete and play well. We need to coach well and play well. And I really challenged our guys when we went in the all-season program. Leave no doubt about the things that take no talent. The effort, the toughness, the discipline, the competitive edge, the ability to earn it every single day and have a team-first mentality, which is really the core values of our program.
You talked about the injuries from last season. You talked about turning the ball over. Is there something else? And this is going to be your best team, according to you. So is there something that takes this team over the hump that we don't just see, such as turnovers? What is that next step for you guys?
Well, we got to play better on the defensive side of the ball. That's the bottom line, Joey. And we have struggled to stop the run against good teams, and we've got to take a step forward. And I would laterally say that on offense, the ability to run the ball versus good teams, we've got to be able to do that. To be able to control the line of scrimmage and not make it a one-dimensional game. We became very one-dimensional offensively at times, and defensively we didn't do enough to put it into a one-dimensional game.
All right, last thing, all the coaches are kind of wrapping their vacation mind up and on their DVR list as well, too. What's the one show you got to finish, or you just finished, or you get ready to just put away for the season?
Well, my wife and I last night watched Big Little Lies on HBO. Pretty good series. Reese Witherspoon was good.
No, it wasn't just you. It was you and your wife, right?
Yeah,
just making
absolutely.
Sure
You're not going to ask him the Alabama-Clemson?
I know. Which one? You ready to do it?
If you could pick one, we were out here batting this around. If
Alabama, I don't even know what the question is.
You guys kidding me? One to beat Clemson or Alabama, and you're saying Alabama.
Even with I mean, obviously, you've always talked about, hey, what in-state for you is always what, like a 4-hour radius?
I thought you were telling me to choose between the one I wanted to be a part of.
No, if you could beat one of them.
Yeah.
Well, we need to beat both of them. That's what we need to do.
Hey, I figured that was going to be the answer right there. Big Little Lies, he's a big fan of it. He's also one of the best coaches in the SEC. He's Coach Will Muschamp. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports and analysis, download the ESPN app, and for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.